And hello there, people of the world. Welcome to the coolest corner of the internet, Sir Koolzalot. You're cool, I'm cool, we're all super cool. So today I have a round 2 testing update on the 4ALLFAMILY Voyager XL version. So as you may know, quite a few months ago, maybe even a year ago, I had tested a couple of the Voyager XL models when they came out because I was quite excited about the prospects of being able to carry 3 auto-injector pens for my travels. As you know, I unfortunately have the large auto-injector pens, and so they definitely take quite a bit of real estate, and I've been on kind of a quest for a while to find units that carry 3, which the Voyager XL can do. So in that earlier testing, the results unfortunately were not favorable, so I sort of abandoned this model as a pathway, and back then I had actually tested 2 units. I ordered one, it wasn't working, I sent it back, got another, and similarly it wasn't working, and so I gave up. So interestingly enough, a number of subscribers have actually been saying that they've had really good results with their units, and so of course I figured, well, maybe it was just unlucky, the ones that I got were just not good. So here we are. I figured, it's about time to give this one another chance and see what it can do. So let me jump on in and report out on my findings. Spoiler alert, I was very happy with the outcome from this round 2 testing, so I hope you enjoy my notes. Here we go. So as always, I have disclaimers. You can take a moment to look at these. The most important here is that I'm independent. I'm not interested in sponsorship. All of my data and views are my own, and I'm on a quest to find the best travel products for medicine that are out there for my personal needs, and sharing those learnings with the community. And today we are focusing on the Voyager XL. So I won't spend too much time on the background of this product because I already previously posted a video, but this is just to quickly refresh you and kind of flash in front of you some of the sales materials that come with this. So I focused on the 4ALLFAMILY Voyager XL branded version. This product has a variety of names. It comes from a company that's known as Secrets Box in China, and then it gets rebranded in various ways, and so hopefully the pictures will kind of speak to which model this is. So the Voyager model, there's a base Voyager model, and then there's an XL model. So today we're focusing on the XL, and as you know, I'm a big fan of the Voyager model. That one's pretty battle tested at this point, done a lot of traveling with it. So just to give you a quick taste of how much I paid for this item and how it was procured. So actually the price tag for the complete Voyager XL unit is super high. In California it hovers around the $220 range. Now and then you can get discounts, and because the Voyager parts are modular, because I have quite a collection of Voyager models, I decided just to order the USB cooling unit rather than the entire system. So I can go onto the 4ALLFAMILY Voyager site, and we have a accessories section, and you can order just the USB cooler. It's branded the Chillmate or the Chillmate XL, and so that's what I did. So actually, as you can see, the sticker price for just the cooler USB cooler unit was $139.99. So hopefully you appreciate the video here and the work that I'm doing. I'm paying the price so that you don't have to. That said, I was playing around with some different coupons. I found one called Spring 20, which is sort of hilarious, and it gave me a $27.99 discount. I have a coupon app that kind of does all the scouring, so I promise you I actually didn't take that long to figure out which one was the hot one. And so I actually ended up basically paying $122.50 for this after tax and shipping was free. Funnily enough, 4ALLFAMILY Voyager have a referral program, so I did actually apply for it, and that can give you a referral link that gets you a 10% discount. So if you're ever in a bind, you're welcome to actually use that referral link. The code is Sir Koolzalot, and amazingly enough, it works for self-purchasers as well. So I referred. You can refer to yourself and then get a 10% off. But actually, I noticed that quite often there's slightly better coupons out there than the 10% one. But anyway, here's the QR code and the link if it helps the cause. I did the hard work and I did the paperwork to get that referral link, which is kind of fine because I actually quite like 4ALLFAMILY. They're not too bad beyond the California price gouging that's going on. They do actually have pretty decent products. So okay, let's keep on going. So that gives you an idea of the how I procured this Voyager XL. So this is just to quickly show you how it gets delivered, the package. So because it's just the USB cooler, it's a smaller box. It was pretty nicely wrapped. I liked how it was in this sort of nice padding, and then you kind of unravel it, and there it is, the star of the show. So I'll kind of open that up a little bit. The XL model has kind of this screw cap plastic piece on the base. I imagine that's to sort of hold your product inside the heatsink aluminium cooler. Also packed in there, you have the cables, and there's a little instruction leaflet and stuff. So that's basically what you get if you order just the USB Voyager XL cooler unit directly from 4ALLFAMILY Voyager in the USA. So let's keep on going. A little comparison. I know a lot of people are always interested in, well, how do the sizes fare in relation to other products? So as you can see here, this is the standard 4ALLFAMILY Voyager flask or thermo flask, depending on how you want to call that. So it, very nicely screws into the Voyager XL USB cooler. And so now here you can see the Voyager unit, so you can get an idea of the size difference. So now you can start to see why the XL model is kind of more attractive for transporting larger kind of volumes of medicine. And then here's our famous RX Coolers Mini or Mini Pro, depending on which brand you purchased. And so now you can see that's obviously the smallest of the set there in terms of the sort of payload capacity. And then, hey, why not? Let's make this a cozy moment. Here's the Chi Tai Tai that you've heard a little bit about. And so the Chi Tai Tai it sort of sits in between the 4ALLFAMILY Voyager and the XL in terms of size. The aluminium tube's a little bit shorter. You can, and then here I'm going to do that. You can almost feed one tube into the other, but not quite. You might be able to do it if the little plastic piece around the edge was removed. And so now here you can see the Voyager being fed into the Voyager XL, so that gives you an idea of the size difference. And then here's the RX Coolers Mini. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a feel for what you're going to get depending on which unit you pick there. So that's probably quite a rare video to sort of see all of that together there. So as I have all of these products, I figured I would show that to you so you can get a really clear visual there on the difference. I did try a little bit of plug and play with what screws into what. So the Chi Tai Tai flask does not fit the Voyager sort of screwing mechanism, so it was just a little bit too small. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that. Let's keep on going. And so now, if you're curious about capacity, just thought I would flash this up. So here you can see the worst of the pens, the Zepbound pens, which have the large base. So this is always quite a good one to try out. And so here you can see that I very easily place two pens in one orientation and then another pen in an inverted orientation. And those very comfortably fit in there. You can't do that with the base Voyager. You can only do that with the XL. The base Voyager can only hold two. And then some new stars today. Here's actually two trainer EpiPens. I have these for some other reasons. They're quite bulky, so they could be of interest. I only have two of them, but you can kind of see you could probably fit about 3 of those in there. So if you're trying to size your product, that could be quite interesting. And then I've got some insulin trainer vials. So these are insulin vials, but not with insulin. They're for actually training purposes. But these are kind of nice because they'll give you a bit of a feel for what you might be able to do with that. And so the quick version here is you can pretty much array 4 vials, maybe 5 in kind of side by side. And then of course, because it's a long tube, you could probably array 3, maybe 3 rows of that. So you can kind of probably gives you an idea of how many you can actually carry. So here you can kind of see how they stack up there with the rows. So I thought that might be interesting. So you could probably get a good 12 or more vials in that XL model, which is kind of cool. There wasn't quite enough room to do 4 rows, as you can see there. Maybe I probably wouldn't do that because I would probably use that screw cap to seal the lid. Because that's glass, you obviously want to be careful not to smash those. So you may actually have some padding or something else in there. Anyway, yeah, some different perspectives there on the capacity. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll keep on going. And so this is a recap. I went back and grabbed the data from the previous presentation that I gave on the Voyager XL, and really the quick version was the units that I tested were hovering, even under pretty mild ambient conditions. So ambient was hovering in the 70 Fahrenheit. The unit was really just hovering on that line of 46 to 47 Fahrenheit at its coldest. So it was really somewhat struggling to basically go down to sort of storage temperature requirements. And then the moment that you applied a little bit of temperature pressure, you went up into the 80s, maybe into the 90s, 95. I mean, it was basically game over. The units that I'd received were just not going to do it. So that was sort of a quick peek at the past. Funnily enough, you can check that out. Look, I actually posted that video about 8 months ago, so that was a while ago. So let's see how it does this time. Let's keep on going. Just to give you a quick idea of the setup, I think you know my playbook now. using switch bots here connected to a demo auto-injector, and then just basically placing that in the chamber. I'm using the cap here so that the product's well situated in that heatsink aluminium chamber. And so I have a probe that's basically in a slightly higher position, and then a probe that's sitting right next to where the drug product is. So that's kind of the basic setup. The switch bots are Wi-Fi connected. They are set to record minute by minute temperature logs, and they will just keep on cranking out throughout the entire testing program. So here's some sort of visuals of the Voyager XL in various stages of testing. So I took a moment to test how it did with the battery. This is one of my favorite classic batteries, 20,000 milliamp hours. So I did a little bit of testing there to make sure that there wasn't anything strange going on, and I'll let you know how long it lasts. And then of course using the heat chamber there to basically put it through its paces. In that picture you might see a couple of other little test probes and other things. I was also experimenting with some other technology. That was side experimentation, so the data doesn't actually come from that, but just while I'm showing those pictures, I sort of at least need to explain what they are. But these probes are quite cool because the temperature units are all contained within a little disc, and then you have a probe that can run to the area of interest. So I quite like this because I was getting a little bit worried about the constant cycling of the electronics and the batteries under these higher kind of heat chamber conditions, and then going out for the day and leaving that kind of stuff. And so I sort of liked the idea of being able to have some of the electronics sit outside of the testing area, if that makes sense. Anyway, I was quite happy with these products. So I'll say more about this another time, because the data wasn't part of this experiment. So let's keep on going. All right, yeah. So here's the money shot for today, the one you've all been waiting for. So let me tell you the story, and then also incredibly, and this might be fortuitous or lucky for testing purposes, this week we had an incredible heat wave come through California. And on some of the days in the sun, the temperatures were as high as like 96 plus, I had clocked. And then even in the shade, some of the peak points, they were hovering at the 95 mark. So, wow, what better a time to do some medicine cooler testing on some more extreme conditions that are actually natural, not simulated. So that's I got lucky on that one. So the Voyager XL was that I tested in the past week was really put through its paces. So as you can see, I started testing on the 11th of March. Well, actually, forgive me, that's when the data started. I started testing around the 13th of March. You're going to see that here. And then this data plot really runs all the way through to almost the 20th of March. So it's a good week and a bit of testing, basically. So let me tell you the story. So the purple plot, levels 1 and 2, are the probes that are inside the Voyager XL. So you can kind of see how those behave over time. The lower level of the lower level plot is for the probe in the lower level of the container, the one that's sitting right next to the drug product, depending on where you position it. But it's the lower container position, and then the other one sitting in slightly higher, just above the halfway mark. So that gives you an idea of location. The black plots here, for the most part, are ambient temperature. So you can kind of see that doing its thing. And then the orange plot here is the ambient temperature of the heat chamber when I shifted the experiment over to the heat chamber. So first item of interest is the battery test. So probably of a Friday or late, I think it was sort of late afternoon on Friday, switched over to battery and let that run till it ran out. And I had clocked basically that it ran for a continuous 12 hours and 40 minutes. Now that was pretty impressive given that the ambient temperature was hovering between 75, almost 80 Fahrenheit during that cycle. So the unit was definitely working out to stay cool, and it held up really nicely. Look at that temperature profile there. It's in the sub 40. It's just below 40 Fahrenheit, so it's hovering in the sort of the 36, 37 kind of zone. So it holds out really well, and it lasts for 12 hours, 40 minutes. That's a 20,000 milliamp hour INU classic battery. So this was very, very nice to see. I was very impressed with this. The other thing I noticed, and so if you recall, the last time I tested this unit, the sort of the mean temperature was hovering just above the 46 Fahrenheit mark. So what had happened there was I had ordered a unit and tested it. It did that. I sent that unit back and got a replacement, and that was also defective. It was doing the same. So I sent that unit back and I gave up. So that's what happened last time. So this unit is substantially improved in terms of its, let's call it its base mean operating temperature. So it's basically operating on average in a wide range of conditions around 36 to 40 Fahrenheit, kind of hovering around that 37 mark. This is beautiful. This is exactly what I would want to see for my very expensive medicine products. I would feel like this unit would do the job and look after it. So that's a point to think about. This little spike here was just because the battery basically ran out, and then I wasn't home when that happened, and then I got switched the power back on and it got back to work. Let's talk about the heat chamber part. So for the heat chamber part, I basically did a whole spectrum of pressure testing from 80 to 95 Fahrenheit. And the quick version of this story is that the Voyager XL unit that I tested here today can very comfortably hold out, I would say indefinitely, at keeping your medicines cool for temperatures that are hovering 90 Fahrenheit or below, maybe even a little bit higher, which is really, really nice. And when you really crank up the temperature to let's say 95 degrees Fahrenheit, so this is getting pretty extreme now. Interestingly enough, at 95 Fahrenheit, the Voyager XL can hold out for maybe about 2 hours at that temperature before it really starts to struggle, and the temperature then starts to drift beyond 46 Fahrenheit. But look at this plot, and let's just think about this. I put it through its paces, cycling the temperature between 80 and 95, sometimes even a little bit higher, for quite a long time. This was over multiple hours, over multiple days, going up and down and up and down and up and down. And look at this plot. Look how impressive that was. It really took a lot to get it to go beyond the 46 Fahrenheit mark. So this is awesome. And then, as I said, the California heat wave starts. So here you can kind of see it was kind of hot, ambient. And now you can see the day-to-day cycle here. Look at that. So it was really, just the ambient California shade temperature. This was just my house. Was hitting on 95 at some peak points during the day. 85 at some peak points during the day. So that was kind of cool. So have a look at that. Even when ambient temperature just was hovering on multiple cycles, through to 85 Fahrenheit. Look at how well this unit did in terms of maintaining the 36 to 46 Fahrenheit specification. It actually held between 36 and 40 Fahrenheit basically that whole time. This is like 1, 2, 3, almost 4 days of heat wave. Look, 1, 2, look at that. So super cool. So yeah, so that's kind of a quick version of, I did a lot of other stuff behind the scenes, as I'm sure you know. I was messing around with voltage, and I did a few other tests and stuff, but honestly nothing worthy to report. I think you get the gist of it from here. This is a substantial improvement on the last set of units that I tested. So let's keep on going. So here's, so my summary side. I would say for this unit, I would give that a thumbs up for traveling around the state. Thumbs up for domestic travel, traveling around the US, maybe traveling around Europe, and I would definitely commit to taking this unit on an international trip. I think in order to actually do an international trip, I would need to now purchase a second unit or a second USB cooler unit, because as you know, I like to travel with one backup, and so that would be the only snag or barrier to actually committing to a live trip with this one. I would have to procure another unit, but I would have to test that unit too to make sure that it works. And I hope the results are as good as this one, because this was impressive. So in wrapping up here, if you haven't seen this yet, I just wanted to briefly mention that we're starting up a Discord server and trying to start up a community chat around medicine travel and medicine travel coolers in particular. And so if you want to join the community, please take a moment to scan this code or follow the link code there, and come and say hi. We're still quite small. There's just a few of us, but I promise you, it's a really friendly group, and we're all in this together. We're all adventurers. We're all traveling the world, and we're all trying to figure out, what is the best way to travel with our medicines. So if you feel sociable, or if you want to help one of your peers, come on by. We'd love to have you. So here's our welcome to our Discord community. And then finally, as you know, I have a sort of a very small community store of inventory for medicine patients that I've been keeping to really help out people around, mostly California, maybe a little bit the US, occasionally internationally, noting that it can be quite expensive to ship internationally and also deal with export-import taxes, but it may or may not be possible depending on the circumstances. But if you think I can help you, and if you're interested in getting inventory of the well-tested product that I would call acceptable for medicines, then connect with me, and we can see if we can work something out. I'd love to be able to help you. This is not a for-profit thing. This is a community thing. So I'm in it to really help local patients. So just keeping that in mind. But I can't pay for you, of course, as I'm sure you know. You'll have to pay for your share of the import costs, but that's probably a small price in relation to the price gouging that's going on. Note the eBay prices are all marked up, because I don't want random people to just buy stuff, because this is very special for medicine patients. But don't pay those prices. I have import prices that I can offer you when you're ready. So okay, you've heard this stuff before, so let's wrap on up. And I have quite a few videos that are in my queue. And interestingly enough, I took a few days off work to really focus a little bit more on developing this project. And so I think, so stay tuned. I think you're going to see maybe a couple more videos roll out over the next few days. Got some really cool stuff to show you. I've tested a new product that's going to be coming to the US soon. It's not yet launched. And this one, by spoiler alert, is freaking awesome. I am so jazzed about this product. So I will be working. I'm actually in the middle of working on that video, so I will say no more. I will just tease you now, and you'll get to see what I mean soon enough. And I imported a lot more of the X8 insulin cooler model. So I've got some larger batch data now on lot to lot variability and other stuff. So I'm going to show you that too in another upcoming video. So yeah, stay tuned and have a fantastic weekend. And if you're in California, stay hydrated. It's kind of hot out there. All right, have a good one. Bye.